Hey there, I'm ARMOUR, and in this video I will show you how to paint some Black Legion Terminators. Let's start of course with black armor. Now black models are pretty tricky because it's really difficult to make black armor look interesting. So I figured out this new technique that I'm really loving, and I think that I will use it a bit more often on black armor. I started with black primer, then made some sponging with grey paint to build up some texture on the most exposed part of the armor. After that, I used some white paint from the airbrush to build up some volumes. And finally, I used a dry brush with white to pick up all of the edges and details of the armor. Now I have some perfect highlights, volumes, shadows, but all black and white, and it looks a bit boring. So I took some very dark blue contrast paints and I shot it from the airbrush to tint the grays and the black and make it more like a very dark blue. This looks very nice against the golds and yellows that I will put on later. Now the biggest part of the model is done, and this took just some minutes. Now it's turn for the metal parts, starting with the metallics. I put some lead belcher on the metal parts and some retributor armor on the gold parts. Picking up all of the gold rims took a bit, but the result is really nice. Right after the base coat I put some wash, the Agrax Earth Shade, and once the wash was dry I went back with some retributor armor on the gold to bring the shine back, and then make some highlights mixing the retributor armor and some silver paint. Then I dry brushed the same silver paint on all of the metallics parts to make some highlights and make them really shine. I painted really quickly and easily the weapons with some dark grey paint, and then made some edge highlights with some brighter grey. I wanted to put some more detail on the Terminators, and since these Black Legion Terminators will go in a World Eater army, I decided to make some pre-heresy colors and symbols on the left shoulder of the Terminators. For doing this I started with some grey paint and then white paint on the parts that I want to be white, and then put some red wash on the corner and the edges of the shoulder pod. Then I made a small dot in the center of the shoulder with some Incubi Darkness, and this combined with the jaws of the decal will make the old symbol of the Legion. So right after that I applied some gloss varnish and then put the decal on it. I quickly painted up the tusks and the skulls and all of the bones with some wraith bone and a mix of 3 washes. I used the Seraphim Sepia, the Agrax Earth Shade and the Nuln Oil. This mix gave me the biggest and nicest variety of bone colors. For the eye lenses I started with some Mephiston red on the whole lens. Then I painted only the half of the lens with some brighter red, and then only the farther corner of the lens with some very bright orange. And at the end, a very small dot of white on the back of the lens to make a glow and shine effect. And that's pretty much it for the main paint job. After this, I just made some more effects on the weapons. I also put some 3D printed shooting effects on some of the weapons. And of course, a lot of gore and blood for the blood god. And these are the other members of the team. I also painted a sorcerer, and that was really fun. I really like how the black armor turned out, and I think I will use this technique with some of my dark angels as well. I really hope you found the video interesting too, and thank you for watching until this point. Yeah, if you want to stay tuned, subscribe to the channel for future updates. Other than that, yeah, maybe put a like if you liked the video. Some comments below. Yeah, that's pretty much it from my side. See you the next time. Have fun.